Hi, I'm Stacy. I'm going to be the therapist. This is Stephanie, and we are going to work on cognitive therapy today. Hi, Stephanie.
Hey, Stacy.
How's it going?
I'm having a really, really rough week this week.
What's going on?
I don't know. It's just like all week, all I can think about and do is compare myself to my brother. And when I do that, it's just, I don't know. I just start crying. It's a horrible week.
So why were you comparing yourself to your brother? Did something happen?
Well, no. I mean, I guess because at my last family dinner, everyone was just like, oh, Vinny this, Vinny that. We're so proud of Vinny. And I was just like sitting there like, I'm like, I don't know, on the back burner. So after that dinner, that's all I could do was think about, oh my God, my brother's so successful and I'll never be successful.
So it sounds like you went to dinner
Yes.
with your family, had family dinner, and your brother did something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Had some sort of accomplishment.
Yeah.
And your family gave him a lot of praise.
A lot of praise.
And then you weren't really
I felt horrible about myself.
Okay.
And I got, no one was like, oh, by the way,
saying
Steph.
anything about
Exactly.
you. Okay, so your brother was getting a lot of praise
Yeah.
at dinner. And what I'm working on right now is called the life problem solver.
Okay.
What this is going to do is help us identify an event that happened, a thought,
Okay.
an automatic thought,
Right.
something that just pops into your mind and you may not even realize that you're having it.
Okay.
An emotion,
Mhm.
your behavior, and then the consequences of the three of those wrapped up.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
So when your brother was getting all the praise, you thought, I'll never be as good as my brother.
Yeah.
I'll never be good enough.
Yeah. I was like, I'll never be good enough, and I'll never be as smart as my brother.
Okay. So we'll go with I'll never be good enough.
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you feel? How are you feeling?
I got so sad. I mean, I was so sad to the point I was like, I'm definitely depressed right now. And then I got angry. Like after I sat there and cried forever, I just turned into so much anger.
Okay. So one of the behaviors of this was crying.
Crying.
Anything
Yeah.
else?
Yeah, I shut down. I left the dinner table and just went in my room, locked myself in there. So I just shut down.
Okay. So when you're thinking, I'll never be good enough, and then you're getting sad and angry and you're crying and you're not talking to anybody, what kind of consequences does that bring for you?
Well, I don't feel good for one, and I stop eating. And my sleep is like all thrown off. Like I just can't sleep. So, and it definitely doesn't make me feel good, which is a consequence to me.
Yeah. Sounds
So.
like a lot of big consequence.
Yeah, it is. And I hate it. But
Yeah. So, do you have any evidence that you'll never be good enough?
well, yeah. I mean, that's all I ever hear is how great my brother is. No one's ever praising me.
No one ever praises you?
No.
So, if you had a friend,
Mhm.
what we're going to do right now is called the double standard technique.
Okay.
So if you had a friend who felt like she didn't get enough praise or that she never got any praise, but she had a sibling who did, what would you tell your friend if she's telling you, I'll never be good enough because my sister is always getting all of the praise and nobody says anything about me?
Honestly, I'd probably laugh at her because I know that it sounds like so silly when I'm hearing it because, for one, she's a different person than her brother. You know what I mean? Like, she's not her brother, so how can she even compare herself? They're two different people.
It's pretty interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess. Like, when it's, like, said like that, yeah.
Do you think maybe that could also apply to you?
Yeah, I mean, if it can apply to her, I guess, of course it can apply to me.
So let's work together and think about a different thought that you could have.
Okay?
Okay?
Sure. So the same event, but a different thought? Okay.
Something that will make you feel, that will empower you.
If I work hard, I can also be successful, or I will be successful. If I
Okay.
work hard, I will be successful.
So if I work hard, I will be successful. That
Yeah.
sounds good to you?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Okay. Now, how do you feel when you say that?
I definitely feel calm.
Okay.
I'm confident. And I just feel hopeful. Like there's hope.
Good. And if you start to think that thought of, if I work hard, I will be successful. If you start thinking that instead of the other automatic thought, how do you think that you might behave if you're feeling calm and more hopeful?
It would definitely motivate me.
Okay.
And I wouldn't shut down.
So you'd be more social with your family?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because when I shut down, I tend to like just isolate myself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely wouldn't do that if I was feeling the other way.
Okay.
And that's, I guess, it for my behavior.
Okay. What do you think the outcome, if you were saying that to yourself and you started feeling better and you were social with your family, what kind of outcome do you think that would have for you?
Well, I definitely, like you said, I would feel better.
Mm-hmm.
I would eat, which is important.
So you would eat and sleep?
Yeah. Yeah, because I wouldn't be feeling like so worried, so I definitely would be sleeping better and eating.
Be taking better care of yourself?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So what I want to do is I want you to say, you've already said this thought once. I'm going to have you say it 4 more times.
Okay.
Just to kind of get you in a more centered place.
Okay.
And you can tell me how it works for you.
Okay, can I read it again? Just because it helps me to read it. Okay. If I work hard, I will be successful. If I work hard, I will be successful. If I work hard, I will be successful. If I work hard, I will be successful.
How do you feel?
Great.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Feels much better thinking that way.
Good. Okay. So I will see you again next week.
Okay.
And when you go home, anytime you feel that way, I want you to say your positive reinforcement of, if I work hard, I will be successful.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thank you.
Thanks. And it's the next week. Hi, Stephanie.
Hey.
What's going on?
I don't know. I just feel like everything when I left here last week went really good, and then out of nowhere, I don't know, I was fine, and then I just started crying, and then I laid in my room, and all I could do was dwell on all negative things, all weaknesses about me. So I just dwelled on my weaknesses, and next thing you know, I had a whole nother episode of this.
So what had you dwell on your weaknesses?
Well, that's the thing. It wasn't really one specific trigger. It was just like, I just keep thinking about my brother, and then I saw him, which I don't know if it's because I saw him and I like, oh God, here he comes again, Mr. Perfect. And ever since I saw him, it kind of triggered.
Okay.
So
you saw your brother.
Yeah, I saw my brother.
And you felt triggered.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I feel bad saying that. It's my brother, but that's the truth.
That's what we're here for, the truth, right?
Yeah.
So when you saw your brother, what were you thinking? Remember last week we did the life problem solver?
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and do that again.
Again, it was, my immediate thought was I'm never going to get accepted into college. Like that, since that's what I'm trying to work on, I just knew there's no way I'm not going to get in.
So I'll never get accepted into college.
Right.
How does that make you feel?
It's horrible. I just feel sad, mad. Like that's all I want to do is go away to school, but I know it's not possible. I'm not good enough. It's not going to happen. So.
Okay. And when you were thinking, I'll never get accepted into college, I'm not good enough, that's what you had just said as well, and you were feeling horrible and sad, what kind of behavior did you have?
I just cried.
You were crying?
That's it. I just cried and cried and cried.
Okay.
I shut down again too, but mainly I cried this time a lot.
And what are the consequences of that?
Well, again, I mean, I just feel like I'm beating myself up, which isn't good. And I kind of feel bad too because like I'm taking it out on my friends, which it's not fair to them. Like, but I'm not purposely doing it. It's just happening because I'm shutting down and I don't feel good. And
So you're not spending time with them, or
Yeah, no.
you're getting into arguments?
just not. I'm not seeing them. And then when I talk to them, I'm like, I feel bad. I'm just being really mean and totally taking it out of them. And I know
Okay.
that's not fair to them. And it's even hurting me because I'm like, not only am I feeling this way, but now I'm pushing away my friends who are the ones who are usually there. So now I really have no one.
So you start isolating?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you have any evidence that you won't get accepted into college?
No. Actually, I was accepted into one school, but it's not where I want to go. But
Okay, so you don't have any evidence that you will not get accepted into college. You actually have evidence that you will get accepted into college
Well, I
because
guess
you've already
I
been
do.
accepted into
I guess.
school.
But it's not even where I want to go, so it doesn't count, does it?
But you still applied and you still got in.
Okay, yeah. Then no, there's not any evidence.
Okay. Now, have your other friends been applying to colleges?
Yeah, all of them. Everyone that graduated with me. Yeah.
Do they have grades similar to you?
Yeah.
So have they been getting accepted into college?
Yeah.
Do you think that you could maybe take a survey of them and see who's getting accepted into college?
Yeah.
So if
Definitely.
they have about the same activity level and the same grades, do you think that, and they're getting accepted into college, that you'll also be able to get accepted into college?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's work on a different thought.
Okay.
Okay. So what thought will help you feel empowered?
I will get accepted into college.
Okay. Can you say that for me 4 more times?
Sure. I will get accepted into college. I will get accepted into college. I will get accepted into college. I will get accepted into college.
And one more time, like you really mean it.
I will get accepted into college.
Okay. How do you feel?
Really good. I'm smiling, which I haven't smiled in like weeks, so.
All right. And your behavior would be that you're
I'm smiling. Yeah, it actually feels really good.
And when you start to feel like you won't get accepted and you start telling yourself, I will get accepted into college, how else do you think that you might feel and behave?
Well, I definitely, again, I think that it would remotivate me. I would just be happy, and when I'm happy, I get things done and I work hard. And
Okay. So what's the outcome of you working hard, getting things done, feeling happy?
well, I'll get back on track with applying to more schools that I'm interested in. And maybe I would even, I want to go, my dream is to go to Florida State, so maybe I would even take a road trip with my other girlfriend who wants to go and see the school.
Okay.
So,
So that sounds like a plan.
yeah.
All right, good. Okay, so the next time that we meet,
Mhm.
you can tell me how this went for you,
Okay.
and then we can go from there.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks. All right, session 3. Hi, Stephanie.
Hey.
What's going on?
Well, I remember when I left here last week, I told you that I would go take a road trip to FSU.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did that, and I got really, really overwhelmed when I saw the size of the campus. And I don't know. There's no way I'm gonna be able to do it. There's no way.
Okay, so you went to FSU,
Yeah, I decided
got overwhelmed.
got overwhelmed big
Okay.
time.
All right, life problem solver again.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So your thought was, I'll never be able to do this.
Yeah.
How do you feel besides overwhelmed?
Sad. Again, sad. Always sad. Depressed. I'm frustrated. Really frustrated.
So has your behavior changed?
Yeah, at this point I feel like I just want to give up. I just don't want to do it anymore.
What are the consequences of you giving up?
Well, if I give up, then obviously I'm not going to go to college.
And do you have any evidence that you won't be able to handle being away for college?
No, I've never tried it.
So, the old saying, how you know unless you try?
Right, I guess, yeah.
Okay. So if your best friend came to you and they said, I got accepted into my dream school,
Yeah.
but it's really far from home, or it's far enough to where I can't just come back for dinner one night, and I don't think I can go, it's too overwhelming, and I don't think I can do it. What would you tell her?
I would tell her, how do you know you didn't try?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I would tell her I know that we have other friends who are doing it, and they're actually loving it, so.
So your other friends have done it, they love it.
Yeah.
You have other friends that are going to be able to do it?
Yeah.
That are going to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that sounds like you have no evidence that you won't be successful in going away to college.
Right. Yeah, I
So
don't.
maybe this week we can think of another automatic thought.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I could say I will be able to do it. I
How
will
does
be able
that
to do
feel?
it. Yeah, again, it feels good. I will be able to do it.
2 more times.
I will be able to do it. I will be able to do it.
That's magic number. All right. So how do you feel now telling yourself, I can do it. I will be able to do it.
Honestly, I feel great. And it's like a huge relief. And I feel determined.
Good. How do you think your behavior is going to change when you start telling yourself that you will be able to do it?
I'm definitely not going to give up. So I'll do it. Like,
and what's the outcome of you doing it and not giving up?
I'll go to college.
Go to your dream school?
Go to my dream school, FSU.
Good.
Go Noles.
Go Noles. All right. Okay. So this next week, I'm going to see you again.
Okay.
And let me know how this goes.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Session 4 through 12. Hey Stephanie, how's it going today?
Hey Stacy, it's going really well actually.
Good.
Feeling much better.
Feeling better? Good.
I am.
So what happened this past week?
Well, every time I found myself kind of getting like in a funk, I remembered that good old life problem solver, and I like just retrained my thoughts, and I noticed that just by like kind of, instead of like acting on impulse, I would take a breather and say, okay, Stephanie, don't go down that route, and I just made a different turn, and it really worked.
Good. So something that I was noticing was that you may have a core belief, and what happens is there's situational beliefs and there's core beliefs. So core beliefs are kind of what get us going, and that's what kind of creates the automatic thought.
Right.
So it seems like you may have a pattern here with your automatic thoughts. Do you see that? I'll never be able to do this. I'll never get accepted into college. I'll never be good enough.
Everything's never, yeah.
So when you say something like, I'll never be good enough, what does that even mean?
I don't know. I just feel like I'll never be able to do it, and then if I don't do it, I'm a failure.
So if you were never be able to do it, it would mean that you're a failure?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you failed, what would that mean?
My parents, for one, would be furious because, yeah, there's no way I can't go to school. I would totally let them down, and they would automatically say, yeah, you're failing once again. So, yeah.
And if you didn't go to school and you let them down, what would that say?
I failed.
That you failed?
Yeah.
So it's all, I'm a failure, I'm a failure.
Yeah,
So it looks like your core belief is, I'm a failure.
Yeah, it is. That's what I was told my whole life.
So part of what happens with the core beliefs is those things, and just like you said, that that's what you were told your whole life, those things start when we're children. We kind of develop our sense of selves when we're children, and our own beliefs about ourselves when we're children. So your whole life you were told that you were a failure by your parents?
Yeah, my whole life. I mean, more so my mom. Everything was about my brother, and there was just no winning for me. I was always the one who was left behind.
So you were compared a lot to your brother when you were growing up?
I always have been, and that's probably why I still do it. That's all I've ever done is compare myself to him.
Okay. So what I want to do is have you role play.
Okay.
Okay? I am going to be your mother.
Okay.
And you're going to be you.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you, Stephanie, why are you even trying?
Okay.
You'll never be as good as your brother, and you know it. So I don't know why you have all these big ideas for your life. And then I want you to tell me, you know, what you want to say that will help you feel empowered.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So, Stephanie, you are never going to amount to anything. I don't know why you keep trying. You're just a failure.
That's what you think, Mom. I can show you that I can be just as good as him. And I'm my own person, so I don't know why you keep comparing me to Vinny. Vinny's Vinny, and I'm Stephanie.
Well, I mean, both of you came from me, so you should be just as successful as him.
No, so what? Just because you had me means I have to be just like you or just like Vinny? I'm me, and I'm going to go to college. Watch me.
Good. How does that feel?
Feels really good, like such a relief.
So,
Yeah.
you know, being told that you were a failure and then telling your own self that you were a failure. Now when we can go over this and go through these other thoughts that you're able to have, do you see how your core belief of I'm a failure may not be the truth. There would really be evidence.
Mm-hmm.
You've already gotten accepted into a college.
Right.
You're graduating high school. You have good grades.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what do you think about all that?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel much better, and this made perfect sense to me. It really helped having it in writing. I
Good.
believe that I'm not a failure. I'm not.
So if you had a friend, because I feel like the double standard technique is the most powerful one to use.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a friend who came up to you and was like, Stephanie, I'm a failure. My parents have been telling me my whole entire life that I'm a failure. And if my own parents are telling me that, it must be true. What would you tell them?
I would tell her just like I'll use one of my good friends to look back on everything that she's done where she succeeded. So for instance, she's on varsity soccer. She graduated high school. She's in college. She's not a failure. You've done all these things that speak otherwise.
Okay.
So.
Now, if you could turn it around and talk to your own self, what would you tell yourself?
I would also tell myself that I just graduated high school with high honors, so that's pretty good. I was captain of my cheerleading squad. I mean, I don't know if that means anything, but it was important to me. And I'm gonna go to college and be successful too. So
Good. So, what is instead of I'm a failure? What is a new core belief that you'd like to have?
Honestly, one that would work for me. I don't know if this is one, but I would like to be able to just say I am me.
That's totally fine.
I am me, and I just want to leave it at that. I am me.
Now, can you imagine how you would feel just saying I am me? I'm not a failure. Leaving all of that out, just saying I am me, and that's it.
Yeah, I feel really free, like a free spirit, just free.
Good. And what do you think the outcome of you feeling like a free spirit would be in saying I am me?
That
and labeling yourself.
I will make it to the top.
That you'll make it to the top? Good. So can you tell me what you learned from our session today?
I learned that even though we grow up in families or with parents that might set these ideas or thoughts in our head, that's not really who we are. And it's really up to us to be who we want to be.
Good.
So.
Good. So over this next week, I'd like you to say to yourself a few times a day, I am me.
Okay.
And before we end our session, I'd like you to say it 3 times.
Okay. I am me. I am me. I am me.
How are you feeling?
Really good.
Good. All right. I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Okay. Last session. Hi, Stephanie.
Hey, Staci.
How are you?
I'm really good.
You look great.
Yeah, I feel great.
Good. Well, as you know, we only have a set amount of sessions, and next week is going to be our last session.
Okay.
Okay? So I just want you to be prepared for, life outside of our sessions.
Okay.
The purpose of this is for you to be your own therapist.
Okay.
So you can actually practice that life problem solver at home
Okay.
when you're starting to feel some distorted thinking coming on.
Okay.
To help you recenter yourself and think of a new thought.
Okay.
Okay? So what I think would be the best thing to do is to create some little cards for you to keep with yourself that can say different things that will help you feel more empowered when you're starting to get into distorted thinking of, I'm a failure or I'm not good enough. You can keep them with you so you can go through them and look at them when you're starting to feel.
Okay. So I can just jot down I'm not a failure, I'm awesome, anything that's okay. Okay.
And then I'd like us to start meeting every 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
Okay. And I want you to practice your own self-therapy with the cards and the life problem solver.
Okay.
Okay. We have a progress card that you can go ahead and keep with you.
Okay. Thanks.
So that you can actually, for self-reinforcement.
Okay.
So you can see all the progress that you've made.
Okay.
And your homework is to make those cards with those,
I'm just
you know,
gonna-
more empowering automatic thoughts, and to do your life problem solver if there's any issues.
Oh, okay.
So when we come back in a couple weeks, we can go over everything that you've done.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.